Beyond any of our wildest dreams 4 years ago. I don't think any of us imagined that we'd have an opportunity to play in a bowl game. And we're certainly appreciative of that. And just really, again, want to thank everyone associated with this bowl game, giving us the opportunity to showcase two great football conferences, and it's going to be a special occasion.
All right, questions? Right to your left, sweater.
Yes, Coach Hopson, Charles Bishop, Tropical Bills inside the HBCU Sports Lab, KCOH Radio, 1230 Houston, Texas. At some point during the course of the year, North Carolina A&T has played 3 different quarterbacks. And I wanted to ask, does that present any sort of challenges in terms of preparation for North Carolina A&T?
I think it does. I think, certainly they're an offense. They believe in what they do, and they do it extremely well. But, each quarterback at times has a different personality, so that's always something that you have to prepare for. But, that's our job as a defense. We have to prepare for that. And, but yes, it is a little bit more difficult, but, certainly, we've got to prepare for it.
Still on this side with Antonio.
Hey, Antonio. Hey, Coach Antonio.
Hey, Antonio.
Is Atlanta the goal now for SWAC programs, do you feel like, or is it still SWAC title and Atlanta is just something that comes with that?
No, it's Atlanta, because you have to go through the SWAC title to get to Atlanta, so certainly the first goal is Houston, the second goal is Atlanta, but I think every football team wants to go as far as they can go, and we know this is as far as we can go. We have one more game left, so certainly it's a great opportunity for our program and for both conferences. And I know I would imagine North Carolina A&T feels the same way. Certainly a great privilege and honor.
All right, to your left side, Coach.
Martin Rickman from Oak Rock Sports. Jay, what type of impact can playing in front of a national audience kicking off bowl season, being on ABC, provide for the program and for recruiting specifically? I
think, it's advertisement and it's media coverage that you just, you can't buy. You can't really sum it up. We get an opportunity to showcase Alcorn State University in front of a national TV audience. Millions of people will tune in and be alert and aware of what Alcorn State University is doing. We represent our university tomorrow, and that's certainly a great honor and a privilege for all of us as players and coaches. And again, you hope it has a big impact on recruiting. Anytime you can get exposure, that's certainly a big thing. But I want to again commend the Celebration Bowl because they're bringing exposure to teams in 2 wonderful conferences. And again, I hope when everyone gets through watching the game, they will really have a true respect for both the SWAC and the MEAC and the competition level that we play at.
Left side still, Coach.
Yes, Charles Bishop again. Coach, I have to ask the question. We saw John Gibbs Jr. toward the end of the SWAC championship game. Is there a chance that we might see John Gibbs tomorrow, or will we stay the course with Lenore Swift?
Well, there's always a chance. There's always a chance. Lenore's, and John is getting healthier, and he certainly is going to be dressed out, ready to play. John's watching run. He's probably about 90, 95. He's getting there. Lenore's has done a tremendous job the last 6 weeks of the season. Lenore's will be our starter on Saturday. And again, we're blessed with 2 outstanding quarterbacks. And John, would be lying if I said he's completely healthy. But at the end of the day, both he is ready to play. And if need be, but Lenore's is going to start the game. And again, both of them have started 6 games for us. Both of them have done a tremendous job. And I say that as a football coach. Very seldom do you have the opportunity to have 2 great quarterbacks. John last year was the HBCU National Player of the Year, and there's many times in spring we would walk off the spring as coaches and go, man, we got a battle right here, And the reality is we've got 2 outstanding football players at that position. Both of them have done a tremendous job for our football program. Just so happens one is 100% completely healthy right now. The other one's in that 90% range. But again, both will be dressed out and ready to play on Saturday.
Go to your right, and we'll come back left. Go ahead.
Don Stitz with DNA Sports Talk. Coaching, you're practicing for such a big game. Do you go back to basics, or do you try to add new wrinkles that A&T won't be able to figure
A
out?
bunch of wrinkles. No, you know, we'll keep that a little bit close to the cuff. But you know, you know, eventually you all kind of are what you are. But each game is a little bit different. That's just the reality of football. No matter which opponent you play, you always have a game plan.
And back to your left. Go ahead.
Kenyatta Cavill, inside the HB Sports Lab again. Wanted to follow up and ask a little about going inside the numbers. When you look at this team, you share with us the relationship that we found out this week with you and Coach Broadway going back to Florida and coaching together. As I look at this team, it seems like these games, it seems like there's a mirror image between the teams in a lot of ways. Does that make it more challenging or easier when you're looking at the preparation for this?
Well, they're like I said, they're an extremely well coached football team, a very talented football team. They wouldn't be playing in this game if they weren't a really good football team. So the reality is we know we've got an excellent football team that we've got to prepare for. And again, as far as Coach Broadway's concerned, I've known Rod a long time and utmost respect, an outstanding football coach. And we know, I mean, anytime you're playing in a bowl game that has a national championship riding on it, you know, it's we know the opponent is going to be a very, very good football team, and that's just the reality of it.
Coach, Charles Eppin with Alcorn Radio. Coach,
Charles, I know you at all.
No, Coach, the question was asked of the players, which team does North Carolina A&T resemble? As you look at, you know, A&T, what team in the conference that we played kind of mirrors their style?
Yeah, that's kind of hard to say. You know, I think each team is different. You know, they really are. There's no team that's exactly like another team. You know, they're a football team that, again, it plays hard. They're extremely well coached. They have playmakers on offense. You know, in the return game. Again, I wish I could answer that better for you, Charles, but I just don't know if there's a team that I could sit there and say, oh yeah, these guys are just like those guys. I don't think they are. They have their own identity, and they're a very good football team.
Coach, we got Mark in the back, and Antonio.
Coach Mark Gray, Heritage Sports Radio Network. You know Coach Broadway real well. He knows you real well. Your two teams are mirror images of one another. Doesn't seem like there's going to be a whole lot of fooling around. Is this to use a fight analogy, is this a in the middle of the ring slugfest tomorrow?
Well, you got a huge bowl game with big implications tomorrow. So you know both teams are going to be excited to play. You know, that's just the reality of it. Again, they're a football team that has our utmost respect, Mark. I mean, you look at what North Carolina A&T has done. They've just done a tremendous job. We all know they fought through a tough schedule and had some big wins. And again, and I say it over and over, but they've got our utmost respect as a football team, and we know we have to be ready to play tomorrow.
Right here in the front, Coach Antonio.
Hey, Coach. You guys played in Houston, in Energy Stadium, back-to-back years. You guys played in Atlanta earlier this year at Georgia Tech. Do you feel like this group of players has kind of grown comfortable with the bigger stadiums and the bigger settings?
You know, I don't know, Antonio. We have played in a few pro stadiums, which is always good, you know, because it's not really a new venue. You know, I think there's some familiarity when you come out of the dressing room, so it's not like the first time that you walk around in an NFL stadium. But the one thing that is nice about the SWAC, and the one thing we're proud of, is there's many games in our conference that we come out and play in front of big crowds. And, you know, we always talk to our players about, you know, anytime we're playing Southern or Jackson or Alabama State, or even sometimes we have a big one, Valley, you know, the list goes on, but there's a lot of games we'll walk out, we'll be playing in front of large crowds. So that always helps, you know. And I know a few years ago with our football team, I think we played Mississippi State in Starkville, and then later on that year we went up to Lucas Oil and played Grambling in Lucas Oil Stadium in front of a nice crowd there. And so, it helps, and we're fortunate enough, we play some games. You know, we usually have 4 to 5 games every year, if not more, where we're playing in front of those 30,000 plus to 65,000 plus crowds, and that's always a good thing. And I think, you know, I don't know. I think what goes on the field is what's important, but I guess the familiarity may help a little bit.
Got time for one more question.
Coach, if you can talk about the job of your offensive, defensive coordinator, you coming in with the top 3 defense and the top 11 offense.
They're outstanding coaches. I'm just amazed that they found a woman to marry them. It's the biggest thing that I'm. They're outstanding football coaches and just do a tremendous job. And I'm blessed that they were sitting right there, Fred Keiss and Tony Pecoraro. I'm blessed that they decided to join us and be on our staff. And just truly blessed. Great, not only great football coaches, but great men.
Thank you, Coach.
Right. Thank you.